This is how you expertly install a brand new, from scratch, InSinkErator. Now, for those of you who don't know what InSinkErator is, basically you got these razor blades that spin, that instantly evaporates all food particulate that goes down your sink. That way you don't have to call a plumber at $200 an hour to come, unclog your pipes. You feel me on that one? Well, ladies, you might still want to do that, but for us men, we do our own plumbing. Real quick, necessary interjection here. How do you know what the best InSinkErator to get is?
You'll be wondering, what the hell do I put in my sink, man? I don't really know the ratings, the wattage, the amperage. Well, you don't really need to know about that, man. They make it real easy for you. They got a picture of a nice, juicy, plump strawberry, and that lets you know this thing can and will devour a strawberry.
Come Thanksgiving, when Nana can't finish her cream corn, her
dentures
pickled,
are worn out.
Her dentures are worn out. She can't finish, the stuffing, the puddings.
She forgot her Fix-A-Dent at the nearest nursing
That's
home.
right. Throw it away. This bad boy will be able to handle it. The strawberry, no, but the corn cob, yes. And that's the hyper tough lesson for you.
Let's not waste any more time. Let's pop this box open and see what we're working with here. It says fecal to instellar, and that means no matter what shit you put in there, it's gonna grind it up and no problem at all, no clogs. Now, a lot of times people ask me, Tim, why do you grow your thumbnail out to be 2 inches long? Tell them, look, if you could split a swisher, you can open up a box. And I'm gonna show you how that's done, okay? Look, take a look at this thing. Sometimes it pays to smoke stogies. InSinkErator Evolution Select. Now you got the Zach port right there, the Tim port down here, and you got the Tyrone port up top.
Helpful tip. This is a hyper tough moment right here. Look, when you're buying your InSinkErators, go ahead and get the one that comes with the cord, unless you already have a cord that you can use. Because if not, you're gonna buy it, you're gonna take it home, you're gonna unbox it and go through that magical process only to find out you have nothing to plug it in with. You know what I'm saying? All right, so look, your InSinkErator has a little cap on the bottom of it, held on by one screw. Take that sucker off, unroll your wire, okay? And if you look right here real close, you're gonna see I got 2 black wires and a green one. The green goes right where this little screwdriver is right there, that little green wire nut. That's where this sucker goes. Take your wire nut, take your green screwdriver, insert it like so. Place in the hole and twist. Now, there's 2 types of wires that we're going to be working with. One is known as the witch's broomstick. The others is known as the witch's titty. Right, now you'd be thinking titties on top, broomsticks on the bottom, but that's not the correct way to wire this sucker up. We want broomstick on top, titties on the bottom, about quarter of the way right there, and we're not going to pre-twist or nothing. We're just going to stick this wire nut on there, and we're going to start twisting and twisting and twisting.
You know, a lot of times you can remember things with the vernacular. You know, no titty twisters. Keep that in mind.
You know you got a good bond and a good seal when that sucker doesn't want to pull off. That's how you know. So just remember.
They call this the witch's bra.
The witch's bra only works if you got the titties below the broomstick. Uneven, no pre-twist. And we're just gonna twist that bra on right like that. Boom.
Got a couple.
Doesn't pull off.
And
this sucker is wired up, good to go. We're gonna be tying into this outlet, and we're gonna run power from this outlet to a new box right here. This is gonna be a switch, like a light switch. And then from this light switch, it's gonna send power on and off to the garbage disposal. So let's do that. But in order to do that, we gotta cut a hole for it. So that comes first. We're gonna use the table saw to very carefully cut out, hopefully not chip and groan and moan and stuff like that with this little wood right here. This is a little push connect. I'm using this instead of a wire twist nut. This thing, you can actually see if you have a good connection or not. It looks just like that. So I'm going to use this to ultimately feed into this outlet right here. And then the ground is going to go here, and then another ground is going to go right here. So in total, this is going to have 3 grounding wires.
Now take your wire strippers and bend a hook into the other end of that push connect thing that we just made. Once you do that, wrap the hook around the green screw, that grounding screw of your existing receptacle, and screw that sucker in there nice and tight. Once you do that, we're going to take the existing grounding wire that's already in your wall, and we're going to incorporate that into the push connect. So the end result, you should have 2 grounding wires, one from your wall and one we just added, into that push connect. Anyway, moving right along, once we do that, we're going to feed a brand new wire that's going to be fitting our switch here to come in a second. Feeding that brand new wire and stripping off the outer sheathing, that yellow sheathing has got to go. Strip off about 4 inches or so. Once you do that, go ahead and strip the white outer casing about 1/2 inch or so, and the black outer casing about 1/2 inch or so, your neutral and your hot wires. Once you do that, we're going to take our copper grounding wire of our new wire we just fed through the wall, and we're going to insert that into our push connect. So our push connect pigtail thing should have 3 copper wires in it. Once we do that, we're going to take our white wire, the neutral wire, and we're just going to incorporate that into our existing receptacle right next to where there was already another white wire. So on one side, we should have 2 white wires that look just like this. And we're going to do the same thing with the other side. So one side's got 2 white wires, and now the other side has 2 black wires. It's really kind of hard to mess this up. Most receptacles have 2 designated spots for white and black. Silver means white, bronze means black. Once you get your wires there nice and solid, screw those puppies in. And then once you do that, just kind of meander those cords back into your blue gang box, whatever color box you got, and screw that sucker to the wall, and because we're moving on right now. Okay, so this is the other end of that brand new wire that's being fed through our brand new box that we just installed, that we just also incorporated into a receptacle right behind my right hand there. Anyway, go ahead and strip off all of the outer sheathings, that yellow sheathing, get rid of it. Take your wire strippers and strip off about 1/2 inch or so from the white wire, and about 1/2 inch or so of the outer sheathing of the black wire. Once you do that, go ahead and grab one of those yellow push connect things and add it to your white wire. Then pick up your wire strippers again and go ahead and make a hook in your black wire. Try not to make the hook too tight, because then the wire gets really hard to work with. You'll figure it out, I guess. Anyway, go ahead and take your new switch and add that hook that you just made in your black wire, and hook it around a bronze colored screw of your switch. I think they're all bronze colored except for the green grounding wire. Anyway, once you do that, screw that sucker in there nice and tight. Go ahead and grab another yellow push connect and incorporate that into the grounding wire. So once we do all that, we're going to feed in one more brand new wire. This is going to be a wire that's sending switched power on and off to our garbage disposal. And of course, we can't wire it without stripping it. So go ahead and strip all the wires that you're going to be using, the white, the black, the outer yellow sheathing. Get rid of all of that. And in this one, we're going to be taking our white wire and we're going to be adding that to our push connect, just like that. So we should have 2 white wires joined by 1 push connect. And then we're going to take our grounding wires and we're going to add those to a push connect. So far we have 2 white wires in a push connect and 2 grounding wires in a push connect. The remaining individual black wire, we're just going to put a hook in that with our wire strippers and attach it to one of the remaining bronze colored screws of our switch. Now, once we do that, we still need to add one more little grounding pigtail thing. Just find some random scrap of copper wire, add that to your existing copper ground push connect thing, and then add a hook to the other end of it, just like we did with the terminal or the receptacle that we just installed. Add that hook to the green grounding screw of your switch, and I mean, you're pretty much done. Finagle all that stuff into the wall and screw it to the wall.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy so far. Stole power from this box, brought it over here, hooked up the switch so it can turn off and on this little plug, which we are going to wire up right now.
So I still have that blue box just kind of obviously dangling there. It doesn't really matter. I'm not sure where I want to put it yet, so I'll just attach it somewhere later. Now at this point in the process, you should be an expert grade electrician, but just in case no, I'm going to tell you what to do. Go ahead and strip off the outer casing of the wires again. Oh, by the way, this is a receptacle I was talking about earlier. Those are silver screws. And on the other side, we have these bronze colored screws. The bronze get hot and the silver get your neutral wire, the white wire. And of course, the obvious green wire, that gets your ground. Now with this, there's no push connects necessary. Just go ahead and add a hook to your white wire, screw it on to the silver screw, and we're going to repeat that same process with the black wire now. Go ahead and add a hook. Hook it to one of those brass colored screws. It doesn't matter if it's on the left screw or the right screw. Just find whichever one, you know, satisfies you and screw that sucker in there tight. And of course, finally, we're going to use our little handy dandy wire strippers and put one more hook in our grounding wire, and it's going to be attached to the obvious brightly green colored screw. You are an expert now. And once you have a hook, just give that sucker a nice, good, tight screw. Anyway, shove all that stuff back in the box. We're done, and now you can tighten the actual receptacle to the box.
A lot of people make the mistake, okay, of not knocking out the little insert here for the dishwasher. It's a small little nub right here, okay? Dishwasher plug goes there. Dishwasher can't drain if you don't knock that plug a new hole, you know what I'm saying? So just bust out that cap. Now the cap is thoroughly busted out. Voila! That's what is holding in there. If you try and hook this sucker up, you don't bust that cap out, hook your dishwasher up to it, you're gonna find a lot of stanky water in your dishwasher.
Bust a cap in its ass.
You don't bust the cap in its ass, now this sucker is good to go.
So let's go ahead and hang our incinerator, shall we? This is a black tube that comes with your incinerator and also comes with a little clamp. Stick that tube in the only opening that it'll fit, and this actually goes into the P-trap itself. Now, on top of your incinerator, there's going to be this little hook right here. This is actually what we use to twist the incinerator or install it into the bottom of your sink. Basically, it twists on this little lip right here. It's really easy. Now, behind the hook, there's this like tube thing. You can stick any screwdriver or drumstick in there, and this is used to help tighten the incinerator. Now, I couldn't actually film it and do it at the same time. It's such a tight space. This is what that looks like, all hooked up. It is so easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You can do it.
Moment of truth. It's either gonna sound like a pack of angry kitty cats or quiet as a moth. We did that. That was us.
Alright, y'all. Danny Duncan here for another. Shut the fuck up, I'm making a video over here. Yank that son of a bitch, alright? I don't give a damn if those screws are bent. Yank it now, don't be a pussy. I don't give a damn. We done damn destroyed that box.
Look at this thing, that ain't warped, they don't know filtered on that. That's twisted steel and American sex appeal.